Some ask me, J man, why come for so many years you've been exempt? Cause familiarity don't breed gratitude, just contempt. The price of sanity is too damn high, just like the rent. Sometimes I was held down by the gravity of my pen. Sometimes I was held down by the gravity of my sin. Sometimes, like Santiago, at crucial points in my novel, my only logical option was to transform into the wind.
We gon' see. When that sun go down, we gon' see. Talk that fresh shit now. We gon' see.
Sure. Feeling on me.
Welcome, young weary traveler. We are back to talk about more Dragon Quest, talk about more other things. We got the ending of the Verinard cutscene right here. They're gonna sing some songs for us. We got the new queen or princess, the new old princess, along with Dior, Prince M, and Otis right here. Wonderful things. We all remember our wonderful times with the Verinard cutscene. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. But today we are doing Pukuland, the start of the Orphea. Actually, we're going to finish all of Orphea and get into a little bit of topic talks on goals, ambitions. We're going to set a pathway to success. We're going to carve our way into reality here and check ourselves on the way up. Just make sure we're on the right path to enlightenment here, the path to clarity, if you will, So I'm gonna go over a couple of those things while we get into Cuckoo Land here before this is a spoiler chat. So we're gonna just go over what we're doing in the story first, so I don't have to focus on that throughout the chapter here. So yeah, this is just a little gossip from Weddy Lady. Very cute, very cute. But over in Puku Land, Orphea is a town where the mayor runs a circus. In the middle of it, the big top circus in the middle of town, run by Mayor something. I think his name starts with an N, but we'll meet him soon. And anyways, he has a performance starting right when you enter town. You go in, and his big finale is to make all the children disappear. And the police don't really like that, of course. No Diddy guys, but he really did do that. He really went there. No Diddy though, I promise. So we go to the back of the tent and ask all the staff of the circus, like, hey, what is he doing? They're like, we don't know, man. We just work here, which is fair. That's what I do with my circus performer guy. I mean, calling it is a circus too. It's like he's, the kind of place where kids would normally be. But anyways, we go over to Silver Hill because that's where the performers tell us he probably is, to go find them, and then we'll travel over to Silver Hill. It's a nice little adventure there. When we get to Silver Hill, we see him throwing them all into the door. I forget what the door is called, but it is a door to another plane that we'll learn more about much later. Well, a little bit later. Couple more episodes till we learn more about the door. Still got the Halloween decorations on in town. It doesn't really look too much different, but because it's already like really decorated. But yeah, we're going to the big top circus here in the middle. That was backstage. And once we get to Silver Hill, we go back to town to realize that there's a big demon here who is going to kill all the children in town. He came back after 15 years, but I'll get more into that at the end of the story recap when we get the backstory. So we lead him away to the forest to kill him when his power is weakened, and then we go back to Silver Hill once he's dead and once we've gotten the boss finished and everything to free the children from the door. Get a little backstory about the devil. So Devil Chief Jigus came here 15 years ago when Queen Alway I don't know how to pronounce it. When she was still queen here, she is passed now, and she was a fortune teller, one of the classes that you can obtain here. So she was a fortune teller, meaning she could tell the future, and the devil wanted her to tell where the kid that would the hero of time or whatever that would eventually kill him, where he would be, or he was gonna kill her. And she was like, he's not born yet. So I'll tell you, come back in 15 years, he'll be born. You can kill all the children, you know? In 15 years, he'll be born. And so she devised a plan. She set forth the pathway to success, set that goal, and had Captain Nablet here. This is the mayor of town. Um, had Captain Nablet here create a circus for all the people of Orphea to join. And in 15 years, he would kidnap all the children, is basically the plan. Um, and Nablet here, the most reliable of all people, definitely did what he needed to do with this circus. So you see, he's putting all the spotlights on the kids, and he's going to steal all the children here. This is going to be hilarious. Um, but yeah, that's the gist of the story. We just come back to Orphea after that, get our key emblem, and move on with life. Today, like I said, we're gonna talk a little bit about success. Um, I've been meaning to get back to that work chat that I was going on before, so I guess I could finish that off now. I completely forgot to do it last episode. I apologize for that, but basically the end of the work chat is just to recognize which work type you're in, and you got to structure your day and your environment around it. So, I would say you really can't do technician work on a manager day or manager work on a technician day, or, because you at least have to set them out, bare minimum into hour chunks, right? Like you can't be in a creative project and then 5 seconds later start managing and, delegating or whatever. It takes a while to jump from place to place a little bit, right? So I would say, yeah, you have manager days, you have technician days, and then you have manager sets in the technician days and technician sets within the manager days, And how I would structure it through a YouTube channel is some days I would literally just work on scheduling and uploading. And then some days I would just work on, or yeah, scheduling, uploading, and like building thumbnails and all that stuff. And then some days I would just work on videos, just work on editing, recording, or whatever creative stuff, making music for it, creative things. And then, in the in between times, I would do maybe one or two things of scheduling. With YouTube or something like that, there's something you have to like schedule or do, or just edit a little bit every day, but it's not like a giant set block of chunks. And if you're in an entrepreneur mindset, know which one you lean more into, so that you can, when you scale, you know which side you need to scale harder than the other. If you're more of a technician, engineer, entrepreneur, excuse me, then you got to scale your manager more. If you're more of a manager entrepreneur, you got to scale your technician more. And that's the general gist of that. Nothing too crazy complicated or nuanced. You just have to know how you work and build your work environment and your work schedule to go around that. And I feel like it's very valuable to know nowadays, now that we basically have to have a side hustle or something that drives us in order to stay alive, living by ourselves. So I feel like that's a little knowledgeable use of um, your mind space there. That's something that you can definitely work on leveling up. hmm And so Inspector Pakul here is our comic relief this time. He's pretty funny. He's gonna be investigating where the kids went with us. He won't show up too often, but he has some funny lines. This is when they tell us to go to Silver Hill, and all that good stuff. But yeah, a little transition over into our main topics of today, guys. We're talking about goals. We're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk about why we're going to set goals, And the main reason why we set goals is because, it feels good. It feels good to set goals and work towards them. But, you have to do it in the right way, first of all. Um, and you have to do it for the right reasons. So if you're setting goals because you hate yourself and you really can't stand everything about your life right now, and you're not accepting who you are, um you have to come from a different foundation in order to make that goal actually come true. I'm not saying don't reach those plateaus or go for those things. Yeah, this is funny. Where he's like, I forgot one. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not saying don't do those things and don't reach for those heights. I'm just saying you got to come from a foundation of love, because if you're not coming from that foundation of love, if anything crumbles, if any misstep happens on that pathway to goal, it can be catastrophic, honestly, and I don't want anybody to go through that on any journey. It's a pretty hard fall in my experience, when you don't come from a place of love and things don't go your way. Um, yes, we do want a key emblem. Please give me it. So don't crash out, guys. Don't crash out. That's a very easy way to not crash out, is to just accept yourself already. I don't care who you are, what you are. There's somebody out there that fucking loves you. I mean, if you believe in it, God out there loves you. Higher power loves you. The spirit loves you, or else you wouldn't be here. So, always know that you are worthy of love at whatever state you are. We always just want to get better than that. I think guys always have a drive to be stronger, and women always have a drive to be hypergamous. And girls, if we want to be hypergamous, we have to drive to be better, to be better, to better ourselves every day. If you want to constantly get a better guy and have someone better than you holding your hand, why would you not, scrape at his scraps. Yeah, I had to scrape at his shits too. Whatever you need to do to rank up to where you need to be. So over here, we have some stuff to do in town actually before we leave. This is where we're going. I'm just gonna go back into town, and I think I'm gonna get the vocation quest done here just real quick. Show that off, and then set my zoom stone. And I think we what else do I do? I think I just look at the rewards for some of the exchange shops here, or something. Something like that. Something like that. But yeah, guys, you gotta come from that place of love. The better you make yourself is the better you make your environment as well. Um, Meaning, so once you rank up in yourself and you start loving yourself more than you already do, because you're coming from a place of love, the better you're gonna make just everyone around you, your immediate environment. You'll start noticing yourself, just not accepting things for their lowered state. Once you start in this goal-oriented mind state, and you start just knocking them down, boom, 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 you'll start to just not accept stuff that's just okay. You're gonna be like, it's okay, but you'll start to have that not perfectionist mindset, but just not complacent. I don't know what the opposite of complacent would be, but you start to become that because you're bettering your environment. It just makes you want to be better, and it's like a constant cycle, a constant cycle of just the grind, if you will. I do love it. That's why I love this game. It's got a very polite grind, a very courteous of your time kind of grind. Um, so usually when we're talking about self-improvement, A lot of people want to set these goals and look about what they want to achieve, but I always find, usually when we're trying to just in general make like a net positive to our life, looking at where we're falling short, or what we want to sacrifice is a lot easier. We just look at, what do you not want to do? What do you want to give up? Or what do you want to reduce the amount of in your life? Like easy stuff like candy, fatty foods, social media, corn addiction, anything like that. Um, if you want to reduce it, it's a lot easier to look at these first before you even start setting goals. To just be like, what do I want to in order to reach these plateaus? And here I am setting my zoom stone to the right place, because I set it to the wrong place first. We completed the vocation quest, and we're gonna set out towards the Silver Hill now. So I hope you guys enjoy the journey. But yeah, know what you want to sacrifice. And in order to start the goal chat, before we even get into um, how we're gonna achieve these goals, I just kind of want to talk about what stops us from achieving the goals. You got to know what you want to sacrifice, and then we're going to be talking about things that make us not progress in them. What is it? Why would we not be making progress here? Why aren't we already doing this? If it's natural to want to progress, why aren't we already doing this? I'm just looking through the rewards here. I don't know what I'm really looking for, but I just want to look through some of the stuff here. But yeah, the things that make us not progress, stuff like the mindset, basically. The mindset, and it's all in the mind when we're not getting to where we need to go, because you're in control of all of your actions. You are the driver of your car, I guess. I don't know. I didn't have a better, your story, I suppose. But when your mind has you in this mind state that makes you feel like your progress makes you feel guilty, like because you didn't make it far enough, or you didn't do it well enough, or you didn't do it the right way, or use the right methodology, or whatever, or you weren't in the right mind state, really. There's so many ways that our own minds can trick us into thinking work that we got done is just gonna make us guilty for later, so we just don't do it, And I go through this a lot. A lot of times, what I'll be mad about at the end of the day, I'll relate it back to YouTube as well. I'll be like, well, you recorded the audio, but you didn't finish the video, so that's bad, That's a guilty day, that's not progression. Or you made a song but you didn't mix it, or you did the laundry, or I'm sorry, you put the laundry in the dryer and you took it out but you didn't fold it, or something like that. Like, there's always something that could be more, that you could do, that you could fulfill. And it's so dumb that our minds trick us into thinking this, but you just got to think any step accumulated along multiple days, it's all about just consistency, is always going to be valuable. And I'll go ahead and give the solution to all of these. I'll just rattle off a couple of different ones here, and why we constantly don't progress. The main thing you want to do when you see these happening, you just want to call it out. That's it. You don't even have to correct it, really. You just want to call it out and be like, oh, that's me downplaying my progression today. Look at that. Just sarcastically call it out, like you're you're just telling off some annoying chick in your mind, that annoying girl in the back of your head who's always nagging you. You're just telling her off and being like, well, I'm just gonna call you out on what you did, but I'm just gonna let you do what you do. I like to give my mental trauma, physical characteristics. Sometimes, monsters, characters, people. It makes it more tangible. It's kind of like writing things down. For anyone with trauma or mental disabilities, I really recommend not only writing your problems down so you can look at them, but also giving your main triggers or trauma points, characteristics, so that you can go back to them and really visualize them when it happens to you. But a couple of these things that'll help us, yeah, that they're totally gonna help us, guys. That'll stop us from progressing, along with the feeling guilty, is the illusion of it being easier later. A lot of people get into this with dating, or stuff like that. It's a really good example, because they say, oh, I just have to finish college. I just have to get a better job. I just have to have a little bit more clout. I just have to work out a little bit more, get my looks maxing up, get better clothes, and then dating will become easier. I'm like, it's not, bro. It's not gonna become easier. You just gotta put yourself out there. You just gotta be vulnerable, and you have to want it. You have to want to share your life with someone. And me personally, I hardly want to share these videos with anyone. But I feel like not only would it be a waste to sit on my hard drive, but it's a lot easier to store them online, you know. And I do want people to listen to these songs, these little mixes I've made. I feel like that's the most valuable part of this content. But yeah, you have to want to share. You have to want to share yourself with another person. And a lot of people don't want that from a relationship. They want other things. And if you want other things, then get other things. But don't act like you want to share yourself when you really just want to be by yourself and have like one other thing sometimes. You don't want to share your entire life and become a team, If you don't want to become like this three-man team I've got here. Baby, and baby. Me, myself, and I. In this funny little MMO. I would say stay out of it, Just it's not for you at the time. And a lot of people do that. But it's an illusion. An illusion that at some point you'll be ready, and at some point it will be easier. But at the true thing is, for a lot of people, it's never going to be easier. And you're blocking a lot of your blessings if you just cut off all contact from any potential partners. You're blocking a lot of blessings. So it's something we have to decide in ourselves if it's just something we want or don't want, and then just open yourself up to the opportunities, or, close off for a little bit. But yeah, I really think the illusion of it being easier shouldn't stop us, because it's never really going to get easier. It's never really going to get easier. The task you want to do is always going to be the same difficulty for you. We're not talking about other people. We'll get into comparison later, but for you, it's always going to be the same amount of difficulty. So I'd say if you want to do it, if you really want to do it, and you're just thinking the only reason why is just because I want to do this first, most things, if you really want to do it, you're going to do it. Don't lie to yourself. Most things, if you really, really want to do it, you're going to make time. It's just like people, if you want to talk to someone, you're going to make that time to talk to someone. Guys, if she ain't text you back, she's like, oh my gosh, I've been so busy, and it's been like 2 days. No, if she wanted to talk to you, she would have talked to you. So back to the game a little bit, guys. This cutscene is kind of one of the best ones. I'm not even gonna lie. I might do a little music video for this one later. But I really like the dark Orphea town, I just like seeing the Orphea town in cutscenes in general. It looks really good, in my opinion. I don't know. You may not know why he did it, but this much is clear. We have to do whatever it takes to protect him. Oh, here it goes. This guy's turned all dark and spooky, huh? Okay, so we're taking a step outside. Captain Nablet's gonna be back here. It does look very dark. I kind of want to see how this cutscene looks on the Switch version. I don't think yeah, I definitely didn't record it. I could I could come back and record it on Switch if I want to, but that will be for later. So that's the boss. We got Inspector Pukul. Yeah, he's gonna save us, right? No, look at his eyes. But I'm having a good day, so I'll turn a blind eye this once. Oh shit. Yeah. So that's the boss. And we'll get into more backstory on why he is back at this specific time here when we go back to Silver Hill. But there's no kids because we all took them to the door. Very funny. And now we're gonna get to my favorite part of the cutscene when the captain shows up. Yeah, see, it just reminds me of like not Demon, Soul Eater. It really does. Just this entire environment, with the brightly colored characters and, the really interesting jumps and set pieces here. Yeah, I don't know why Soul Eater definitely comes to mind immediately. I did want to make a Soul Eater cosplay. I'll probably make justice on that soon too. Put baby in it. Look, this is so good. This run right here. I don't know why. I feel like it's just framed so perfectly, but a lot of the cutscenes really have good cinematic angles to them. I will say. Like this run right here. Yo. Right there. That's a good scene. Okay. So yeah, favorite cutscene this time. I had to give a little justice to that. So another reason why we don't start, we halt our progress, block our blessings, why our progress is sometimes hard, is because we don't know, or we don't start because we don't know if we're gonna make it to the end. And that's one good reason why I really didn't start for a while, actually. I feel like I should have started this playthrough like months ago, honestly. I've been ready to be honest. I really procrastinated on it for a while because I guess, one of the main reasons I didn't think I'd be able to finish it all. What if I don't make it to the end? What if I lose interest or whatever? But you just gotta jump in there, and I feel pretty fulfilled about it so far that I've added a couple S's to it, or S's. I'll get good at the gift of gab one of these days, guys. But you can't let that fear, that false expectation, becoming real, appearing real, fear. You can't let that stop you from taking action. Because even if we don't make it to the end, even if it's, something that progresses in a different way, at least we took those steps, at least we learned those things, You're never gonna get a net negative from a new experience, in my opinion. Because you're always gonna learn something. I think I've said this before on a video. But you're always going to learn something from a new experience. And when you learn these new things, it's going to give you a net positive no matter what you learn. So If it's a new task or a new event or something, don't shy away from it just because you don't know if you're going to make it to the end. You're going to learn something from your progress in it, even if you don't finish the whole thing, even if you need a little help along the way. You're always going to gain information. And then what we do a lot is the comparison. Somebody else got way farther than me in a way shorter amount of time, and that thief of comparison will drain us from all progress, all ambition, all drive to gain more progress. It'll absolutely just suck it all out of us. It'll baptize us of all good nature coming towards us. It'll be terrible. Um, so one way to literally just stop this, like I said, is to just call it out. You don't have to like, stop comparing. You just gotta call out your comparisons to be like, well, they're not me. Just whatever. Who cares? And you gotta look at people as they are, as Pokemon cards. As different pieces in the deck. They all have pros and cons. There's no one character in a fighting game that can serve all areas unless it's a shitty fighting game. But everyone's got their pros and cons. Everyone's got good and bad sides to them. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, so you can't look at someone else just because they have more strength than you in this aspect when in another aspect they probably don't. And that's the funny thing about comparison. That's why it's such a demon, because we don't just compare ourselves to one person. That would be easy if we just compared ourselves to one person. We could look at the faults, we could look at the, pluses, whatever, but we don't. We compare ourselves to one piece of this person, and 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 one, you know what I'm saying? It just, like, it's not fair. It's not fair. Your mind is playing tricks on you, and it's not fair for you to think of yourself as less than because you're not some kind of Frankenstein beast of a monster. And this is also kind of goes into what the negative ways that girls compare other guys as well, because it gets pretty disgusting, honestly. But you can't Frankenstein a person together who you want to date, and you can't Frankenstein a person together that you want to be. You have to just accept the people for who they are. Faults, pluses, minuses, whatever. If you're not ready to do that, once again, you might want to begin dating, honestly. You gotta work on yourself a little bit more, or just wait for the right person to delude you. It might take a while. And then another thing is, the last thing that I'll go into on what stops us is your work is gonna be just a source of like negative emotions and not accomplishment. So if you've ever gotten a lot of negative feedback about something you did, or you don't talk about the things you do a lot, and you get like hate from someone specifically for doing this, and you just hold on to those thought analogies, those thought pieces that you just give to yourself, then all the work that you can do can just be a source of negative emotions. It's not your source for that feed you need of like power and confidence. It doesn't make you confident in what you do. And once again, you just gotta call it out. You just have to call it out. 90% of life is auto, and if we bring awareness to the moments, and you just ask, how can I deviate? You don't have to really force yourself. You can just ask, like, what thought patterns can I go through to arrive at a different destination next time? Because if you take that 90% auto and you just crank it up there, because we don't like wake up in the morning and be like, okay, pick up my phone, look at it for how long am I gonna look at it for? And then I'm gonna go to Instagram, and then 7 to 5 minutes. No, wait. I think 6 minutes. 6 minutes 45. Okay, yeah, 6 minutes 45. And then after that, I'm gonna make the coffee. No, wait, I think I'm gonna go make the coffee before. And then I'm gonna go. So you just kind of do it. You just kind of autopilot. For most people, I have one of those stupid brains that I just kind of keep thinking. So I have to. So some things for me are autopilot, but I have to have one constant dialogue going most of the time, unless I consciously turn it off, right? But for most people, everything is auto. So you just have to bring yourself out of that 99% auto and just come into life when you're doing these things. Also, I have the auto controller on, so it's pretty cool. I can actually dodge this boom that he does eventually, I think here. Or I think I might have already done it. Here it goes. And you just kill him now. Cool. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Duke Sigris is not a hard boss at all. Not a hard boss at all. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna shift gears here at the end of the episode and get into the goals chats. Got a little worksheet here. So this is from Struthless. A little bit of how to set goals here. Now that we've talked about what stops us, now that we've talked a little bit about work sets and work types and stuff like that, we're just gonna set on how to set goals. So first of all, you need the intuition. What are you going to set the goal for? And how you do this is you can just look for like what excites you. What gets you thinking a lot. What's constantly on your mind. And then you just set a goal related to that. If it's girls, set a goal to like work out or go out and meet people more. If it's music, set a goal to, it doesn't have to be anything hard with music, just do some active listening times with songs you really like and write some stuff down about them. If you can't make music, if you can make music, set a goal to make music. And it doesn't have to be huge goals, guys. You can be like 5 minutes a day, but it has to be daily, weekly, something like that. 30 minutes a week, all you really need. Um, and you can just ask yourself like the journaling questions every day. You can do this for 30 days if you're really unsure. Journaling questions can be some things like what excited you today? What drained you of energy today? What are you grateful for? Yeah. And then if you're not really influenced by positive emotions, if you're more of a shadow side individual, no knocks to that. We're all good and bad people here. We're all gray areas. So if you're more into the darker area here, you can just look at what you're jealous of mostly. What are you envious of a lot? And a lot of the times, if we have a lot of huge depths of envy, you really just gotta move into gratitude more. And like I was saying before, we don't have to yell at ourselves or acknowledge that that emotion is bad. We just have to notice and ask how we can get to gratitude quicker than envy. So that's how you set your goals and find out what you want to set goals for. You have to look for the Goldilocks zone. So you don't want to set a huge audacious goal, but you don't want to set like small, uninspiring ones. You got to define your zone of action. What is big and compelling, but still feels achievable. Still feels like this is something that you could do on your off time. You don't have to dedicate your whole day to it. It's not something you can't do while holding down a day job or something like that. Um, so you have to create your compelling sentence. I'll give you guys an example with the blanks in, and I'll give you an example of mine here. So you have to say, I want to blank something specific by blank time period, how long you want it to take, because blank, the way it helps the world, and blank, the way it helps you. So yeah, basically you just have to have the thing you want to do, how long you want to do it, and then your helping of the world and yourself. you know? Pretty easy to do. I'm going to relate it to the YouTube channel here. I'm going to say I want to create a playthrough of Dragon Quest X, the MMO by Square Enix. Oh yeah, only Japanese, baby. For let's say 2 years. Say 2 years. I don't know how long this playthrough is going to take, but going through all versions took 1 year, not recording it. So I suppose it would take double recording it. Pretty simple guess. Because it will spread awareness to the Dragon Quest MMO and this wonderful translation to the English audience. And it will help me build social skills and communication skills to help me grow a community to prosper in. I really feel like I just don't fit in most real life places I've been in. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to fit in through the internet. I've looked at different communities on the internet and I've seen like different YouTubers that I aspire to. I've gained a lot of knowledge, but I just don't feel like I fit in a lot of communities. So I might as well build a following and see what people say depending on what I say over to the internet here. And yeah, I know it's not a very short sentence that I just did there. I kind of made it a run-on sentence, but you get the gist of it. My main goal of why it helps me is just uh, building skills and communication, music, sort of compiling them all together. It's obvious I have fun with this game as well. Good to be consistent at things. Like I could go on with the benefits for me. But yeah, I really hope people enjoy these playthroughs, people enjoy the content. It's just a win-win in that situation in my eyes. I'm really looking to just build my social skills because I do feel like I'm good at talking. I just don't really like have a desire to do it. I don't derive um, meaning from a lot of interactions in life nowadays. I'm pretty young, but you get in this mind and this ideal state that you've seen it all or you've seen enough. Maybe I haven't seen it all, but I have this feeling that I've seen enough and I don't care anymore. I don't care about your opinions or your terrible takes or your knowledge that I can easily disprove by looking on the internet for 2 seconds. Um, I don't care, you know? And a lot of the times people are trying to help you, they're trying to compel you, but it's so forceful sometimes, and I can't really care to distinguish between people who are really in my corner and not, so I just kind of I push a lot of people away. Not the best method, but it's what works for me for now. So I'm hoping to change that, be able to create a more solid and in-depth friend group, um, and just not waste a lot of time. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time before with people. I've planted seeds that I didn't water and didn't blossom into the plants that I wanted. So this is sort of my penance, my retribution. Yeah, redemption, if you will. Um, but yeah, we got the end of the Alway cutscene here. This is the part of her plan. You set that goal, you set that plan in motion, um, and you save all of Pukulet. Pukule people. Pukule people. Pukule people. So yeah, guys, the gist of that in the goal setting is you just gotta break it into bite-sized chunks, and then you gotta work backwards. What do you want to do at the end? I want to have 5,000 subscribers, so you gotta work backwards from that. What do I gotta do to get there? And you gotta write out all the steps in detail, write out the task. You know what I'm saying? And how small you're gonna make the subtask. You gotta make it easy. You gotta make it super easy. If you're not looking at these subtasks and thinking, that shit easy, I can do that in 5 seconds. It's too hard. It's too hard. You got to make these subtasks super, super easy to hit so that you're not constantly working towards something that you feel is unattainable from day to day. And then you timeline them. Yeah, turn them into weekly to-do list. And then from week, you go from day to day. Um, and guys, always remember, whenever we fall behind, every good plan is flexible, you know? Every good plan has a little bit of like a plan A 2 or a plan A B or something like that, you know? Little altercations to it, you know? Because nothing is foolproof. There's way too many fools in the world to have everything foolproof. So yeah, that's the backstory of the book. She did write a third wish in her notebook, but we will see what that third wish is next time, guys. They were very good at writing their goals down in their notebook, you know, and getting to those very readily, you know. Back in the day, she was a great queen. But we'll get into that next episode with the Magistra City story. Hmm. That's about all that I have to talk about for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna go back to the town of Orphea to get the key emblem. And then we're gonna have ourselves a merry little Monday. Oh shit, I forgot about this guy. Could this be that ne'er-do-well Nablet's hideout? No, don't. You're a little late, my guy. Yes, Inspector Pakul. You guys didn't forget about this guy, did you? He's going in. And we'll figure out more about those doors, that door later on, a couple episodes from now. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so like I said, back to our feed. Hey guys, your goals are not a an extension of yourself. You are your own person. Always remember to love yourself no matter where you are in your goals. Uh, because that will in turn help you fulfill them in the end. You know, you move forward with love and not hate. Always helps us prosper. Um, and yeah, we're back to the circus tent. Oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, and then this is when he's gonna be like, "Oh yes, I can't do the circus no more. I'm sorry, guys. I stole all the children. That was bad. So no more circus." And then everyone's gonna tell him that you can't stop. You can't stop. And he's saying, "Oh yeah," and he's stepping out his mirror. "Oh yeah, you can't stop. We love this too much. I'm too invested. Don't worry, guys. I'm not stopping the playthrough. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving." All right. Yeah, man. Don't go stealing my line. Yeah. They understand. Very sweet. So yeah, man. No tears shed. We're back at it. Circus time. And then you get a little final circus cutscene. It's pretty fancy. Oh yeah, I get the cake. Forgot about this. And there's our key emblem. It's in the cake? Oh my gosh. I hope I didn't bite it. The cake is a lie. Yeah, we all get it. We all get it. Okay. So, like I said, we'll get into more talks tomorrow or Wednesday when we go into the Orphea episode. Okay. So, guys have a good one. And I'll catch you next time. Okay, peace, bye.